Hi guys, so today we're going to try out Spellbinders' new April 2022 die of the month, the large die of the month. This is the Say Cheese, and they did send these items free of charge for my review, and of course all opinions are my own. Any links down in the description box will be affiliate links, which means I'll make a small commission if you were to purchase items to those links. So in the unboxing video I showed, all the different bits here, and as you can see, hopefully you can kind of make out, it makes like a old-timey kind of camera. Really sweet. So what we're going to do today, is just go ahead and put that together, and there's different ways to play with it. Like and I have things just kind of put together just in a way that makes sense, but you can use just this bottom part, or you can use the bottom part with the big light in the background that flashes, or that looks like the big light, however you want to use it. So what I'm going to do is just grab some papers. I think I'll also pair it with this month's embossing folder. So what I think I'm going to do, because if you kind of look at that and you see this back here, I think it takes up like a 5x7 card real well if you're pairing it all together. You can make a shaped card with this really easily with the little base die, but and then just add the features, Really sweet. So I am going to use probably this, I have in the background the Radiant Burst, and then have this kind of on top of there and all that kind of good stuff, just for a little background for it. So what I'm going to do is grab some papers and we will get started. Okay, so I have some different pieces of paper here that we're going to use today. So I do have my card base. I am going to use a 5x7 card base just because, but I think by the time you're done, this probably fits on an A2 just fine. I just want to have it on this space. And then I cut a piece of paper down to 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 that I'll pop in here. I'm just not sure exactly where, if I want to orient it like this, so this is a little higher up or wherever. So I'm going to wait for that, but I'll put those to the side for now. And we're going to go ahead and create the camera base, and I have a few colors for that. So I did bring out a piece of black cardstock that I'll probably grab some more, but I just grabbed this scrap here to do the main base part, just like this. And if I need to run it back through to get the embossing, I'll do that, but this is very thick cardstock, so a lot of times it just takes it immediately. But if not, I always try to tape it in a way that it holds on to it, so when I go to emboss, it's just holding on to the die cut instead of it popping out, and then just trying to place it back in and run it through again, depending on the system that you're using. So I have that. I also have a couple of other things I want to cut. So this die right here is like the little straps, and I'm going to cut it out of this brown paper just so it looks like leather or something, like an old school kind of strap. So I do have that for that. Let me stick that down. I'm just going to put some tape on that just for now. These are, let me put the things to the side that have to do with the flowers, because we'll use those at the end. And then the sentiment, so I don't know those right now. This is for the flash. The light, however, is this part too. This is part of the camera like decoration. This one too. This guy, we're not gonna, well, this main piece here that goes right on top, I'm going to cut out of this kind of pearlescent silver paper, so it's not shiny silver like this one. It's just a little bit different. So I'm going to cut it from this guy. Actually, let me cut this down. And then I'm also going to cut this portion from that same silver paper, just so it's like an accent piece. Basically, this piece here runs along the bottom here if you want to add that. So we'll have those two pieces. And again, I'll run this through a second time if I need to for the embossing, for that detail. So I will try to stick that down like that. And I'm just grabbing pieces of the best ever craft tape that I always have here. And it is always linked in the description box under the basic supplies I use. So we have that. And then I'm trying to see what else we need for this portion. I will cut these things out of the shiny silver just to have that accent. And I think that's all we need for this base part right now. So I'm going to put these to the side. And actually, after we're done with this, for all the different circles, we'll cut those pieces out in just a minute. But for now, I'm just going to run these guys through. Yeah, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I have these pieces here. This little guy that I went ahead and also rubber embossed. Oh, that so awesome. Here's some of our other little detail pieces here. This one has a little hole we can pop out. And this piece, and So I learned from my mistake last time I misplaced a die. I have my magnetic board here next to me. So we'll pop them on there. Oh, that's fun. You can just kind of toss it and it sticks. Okay, so let me get this guy out. Pop that whole thing on there. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to close up just a little bit. So we're going to do this very basic part, and then we'll dress this guy up, and then we'll go on to the flash. So on this portion, and maybe I mentioned at the beginning or not, but you know, I get samples, so your carrier will have the inspo for you that will show you, kind of walk you through the different steps. Very simplified, of course. So hopefully this will help you out. And I'm going to place these first, and I'm just kind of eyeballing where this is going. Just to put those little guys on there. So cute. I'm telling you, every little bit of detail that Spellbinders adds is just like so wonderful. Okay, so we have that. And while that's setting up, I'm not going to put the little straps in quite yet. I'm going to add our other little detail pieces here. So I'm just putting a little glue and assuming that's where I need to be. So we have this little guy. Just going to pop it on here. Just building that up. Oh, don't stick to my finger. You gotta stick to the paper. There we go. And then this little guy. So cute. It looks like a little muffin. That'd be so funny. Look at. I don't know if, let's get a little closer so it focuses here. Look, it looks like a little muffin, right? Or like a little pie, like a little something cute. But anyway, we're gonna put this part on here. So that's what's gonna hold on to the paper, the rounded portion, and then the rest of it's gonna be sticking up like this. So I'm gonna let these pieces set up for just a minute before I move on. So those are set up. I'm just gonna put a little glue down here at the bottom. I might have been a little bit too high with that. I'm gonna bring this guy over and just add this if you like. Just right down there. Hopefully you can kind of see it's kind of rounded at the bottom, so that's the portion I have facing down here. And then we're going to put our little straps in, and again I'm just going to add, well actually I don't know where these are going to end up, so let me grab these. And there's a thin, it's thin to thick. In my throat. So it goes from thin to thick here. So this little thin area can go in there, and then the thicker one goes behind if you want. Now I'm putting it all into the actual loop because I think that looks cute. But if you just want to place it there so it's kind of like in that area, you can do that too. You don't have to pop it in the hole, but I think that looks cuter. Your little glue. Hold that guy down. Again, it's metallic paper, so it takes a while to set up with the glue. So I'll just hold that down, and I'll do the same thing on this side. Take the other one, the smaller area, the thinner piece, go in the loop, and then glue it in the back. Okay guys, so we have that base piece set up and ready to go. Next piece we're going to work on with this guy, and he kind of just goes in here. You can kind of see where the shape is for it. It goes like here. And so for this one we need a couple different things. We'll need these two and this portion. And some of these little items if you know, you wanted to completely deck it out with like the different shininess and all that kind of fun things. So I do want to do that. I do want this black, but I also want the negative, so I'm going to keep both the outer ring and this inner ring that it makes. Or you can get it from this one, but from this one I'm going to do this in black, so I'm going to take it from there. I think this one I'm going to do in the same gray color that the camera, that this base is. So just a little bit of that pearl gray. And then these are accent pieces, however you want to use those. Black, silver, I mean white, whatever it is that you want to do. This little guy goes like right in here. So I think I'm going to cut this one out so that, I'll do black on this outside piece. Let me think about that one. Well, we'll see. It'll be a surprise. I think I think I want to do it. Yeah, let's go black, and then we'll go the shiny silver with this one. Or white. I'll come back once I decide, because I want to see what it looks like so I can see what I want to pair that up with. And then this little guy right here, I'm just going to run through the shiny silver because he'll be like all the accent pieces that go into the different areas to make it look like it was shiny. So I'm just going to take that guy. I will be right back. Okay guys, so we have that portion that we cut out earlier, and we have these pieces. I said I was going to keep the black piece. You know, if you want to switch it out for like whatever color, maybe white in the background or whatever it is, you just run that same one back through. I'm pretty sure this hole is exactly the same, so you can run through this one too. But I'm going to start off with this guy, and I'm also going to fill it in that space. So I'm just going to add this. And it looks like, I mean, it pretty much just centers in here. Aw, so cute. And then I'm going to add this in, but again, if you want a different color. But I'm just keeping it together, basically. Ah, there we go. And then this one that I cut in the same as the body color, or this background color. That pearlescent black, or gray. What am I talking about? And I'll pop that there. Okay. And then again, you know, if you wanted to use white or accentuate it however it is that you want, I think for this one, I have my little silver pieces up here that we cut from that one die that I said had like different accent pieces. And basically your little crescent, you're going to take that. And so I'm using this. I'll just pop it in wherever you think you want that to be. So I'll just take this. Maybe I'll put it on the other side. So I was thinking about where I want to put my sentiment. If I put it on the camera, maybe it's better for this to be over here. So cute. And then up here on the top, I have that piece that I ran through in black. And then I ran through the smaller square that it was paired up with on the die in white. And then I'll take a little accent piece of that silver. So we have that guy. And I'm going to put some glue on here. A little too much glue, but that's okay. Pop that guy on there. And then the last thing is, again, a little glimmer, a little shine from this one. You have a little extra piece. So I'm just going to put a little glue, less this time, and I'm going to pick up that extra. And I'm going to put the little shininess of it in the same spot that I put this one, right? Because if it's this way, then I'm going to put this little accent piece there too. I'll keep this for our flash, so I'm gonna hold on to that, and I'll be right back. Hey guys, so let me back up a little bit, and we're gonna go and work on the flash. And so we have our pieces here. I'll probably pop this away from that, so we have that, and that can be the camera by itself, just like that, and then you do your little sentiment, whatever it is that you want to do. However you want to do it. What I mentioned earlier is if we aren't going to use like the sentiment like this one, because it does fit right in there, and you want, or sometimes people put a sentiment plus another little something, you know, I wanted to make sure if I was going to put it across here that my little accent pieces were up here, whatever it is that you want to do, of course. Now, for the flash, I think what I'm going to do is we need the larger circle, we need the smaller circle, these two guys, and then we already have our accent piece from earlier. And then we also have this little guy too that we can work with. So there's a different series of circles, however you want to do that. But I was thinking, when you have that big flash, or even the smaller ones, I don't know if you remember these little cube ones. To me, I remember like, obviously they had like glass, so kind of bluish, kind of silver, like it just depended, I don't know. So for that part, the part that's going to go around this big flash, I'm going to do this blue pearlescent paper. I was looking for like the lightest blue paper I have. I thought even vellum would look really fun, but it might be a little bit harder to glue down, you know, because you don't want the glue showing too much and you want to do that strategically. So I don't know that's going to work, but we need 8 of these. So I'm going to run this through. So we have 8 of them to make that full circle. So I'm going to run that through with that. On the outer one, I'm going to run it through with the black paper. And I think even this smaller die, I think I'm going to run it through in the light blue. Because basically we're going to put those pieces, I believe, on this. At least that's what it looks like. It looks like they fit here. It might be the larger one. I'm not sure, to be honest. So I'm going to run this through. I'll run this through in blue. And we'll see what we got. Okay, and then we'll go to these guys later. So as I'm finishing up cutting these out, you know, I was kind of layering them on the little light blue circle. I used the smaller circle for this. And I can tell that, obviously, just looking at it right now, it's not so much for that. What's interesting, though, because if I layer this on here, I'm still going to use my light blue circle as the background. is that if you wanted to, if you didn't want to cut these pieces, right? Let's just say you just were like, you know, I don't know. I'd rather just do it a different way. And not cut the different pieces. What's nice is that they made it so that this circle will fit over this. And if you don't want to cut all the different pieces, you don't have to. You just have the one circle and then you go ahead and layer up your other items and it still looks just as great and faster. Of course, if you're making like lots of cards, maybe that's an option. So they did include that smaller circle. You can also pair up the smaller and larger circle, and that'll make a little ridge for you that you can put on top afterwards so that it looks nice and neat. However it is that you want to use it. Basically for right now, I was thinking, should I still use it anyway? Let me lay these on here on the larger circle just to see what that looks like. Really, I wanted this background there to lay it on there and then put it down so like maybe the black wouldn't show through if I was a little bit off. But I'm gonna see if how that looks, and if I like it, then we'll just go with that and not use the inner blue circle. Okay? I'll be right back. You know what? I kind of like to look at this because it does show a little bit of that partition, and I think that looks nice. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these down, but what I'm going to do is when I go to glue them down is make sure I'm right on the edge, and then we are going to make a little extra circle on the top, and I'll show you what that's going to look like, because obviously there's not going to be any black edge on this one. So good to know. I just cut out that blue circle. We didn't really need it. But again, if you wanted to use that to make it faster, you can definitely do that. So what I'm trying to show you here is that I'm right on the edge. And that's what I'm paying attention to more than anything else. And then from here, honestly, if I just want to put glue on the surface, that'll work. Bring my next one in, place it down, and just making sure I'm right on the edge. Okay, and getting them as close as I can, that way we don't have any issues. That's working it pretty quick. So what I'm going to do after these are all down, I'm just going to sit with you guys here and do this right quick, is I'm going to run through those two dyes together through some black so I can get that black accent back. So just a couple different ways to work with this. And place this one down real quick before everything dries, so I can see that this one needs to move over just a little bit. And pretty much there we are, guys. So they are right next to each other. That little black accent you see is basically coming out from behind. And then what I'm going to do is run these two together, of course, tape it down so I can get that black ring back, okay? Hope that makes sense. So again, if you just want to do a blue circle on top of the black one, great, and then build up everything. You'll have that little black rim or whatever color rim you want. But for now, I'm going to do this and this at the same time. I'm going to get a little black like frame basically to put back over the blue work we just did, and it'll look really nice and neat. So I will be right back. Okay guys, so we made a little frame. Now I have an extra black circle if I want to use it for something else. But this little guy, what I'm going to do is just glue it down right here, so now we have that black edge back, and it just looks super neat. So we have that. Now on these, I'm going to do pretty much the same as I did before. I'm going to cut this out of black. So just like this one, almost identical, but the larger ring out of black. The inside ring out of the same kind of silvery color from this paper, the pearlescent silver. And then I'm going to cut this little circle out of white paper. So then when this is on here, you're going to see a little bit of the black from the background. I'll cut this out in white, and then we already have our little silver accent from earlier. So I'll be right back. Okay guys, let's get our pieces back over here. Alright, so we have this, and this guy. I'll pop that guy down on first. Sorry about that. Alright. Pretty much perfect. You can kind of see where in there where it just sits perfectly. And then I'll follow up with this one. And then in the very center, I'll pop this little white one in. And I'm just eyeballing that one, but that looks good. And then again, our little glimmer or little shimmer shine here. So I'm going to put that let's say there. It doesn't really matter where I put it at this point because we're going to put this on our project however we want. It's circular. And then this on the edge. So I think I'm going to put a little glue on the very edge. The very edge. That little frame's not super thick. Like that. Oh my gosh, you guys, how cute is that? I'm gonna let that set up and I will be right back. Okay guys, we have our camera parts here ready to go, and then we have our dies again that cut the outer, and then you can inlay this. And I think what I'm gonna do with this one is cut it out of some blue in the background, and then I'll do the inlay just like this, of course tape it down real well, out of some white paper. And I will be right back. Okay, guys, I have that, and I'm just going to take a moment to glue these together, and then that'll just go right down here. Okay guys, so before I put all these pieces together, it's going to be something like this, and then this little guy goes up on top of this, and then this goes here. I'm going to go ahead and emboss my paper, and again, I'm just kind of eyeballing. I want to see about the size this might take up. And so if we have it here, it'll be down here somewhere. So, you know, I'm just going to try to off-center the little starburst as much as I can. Like, as high up as I can get it with still putting, you know, the image on here. So it's a little bit higher up. It might be a little bit off, but I do like having that a little bit higher up. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to run this through. I'm just going to glue this down to my card base. Look at that. Starburst. Again, the Glimmer of the Month has something similar, but it would be glimmered. And you can use the opposite side. The deboss side is really gorgeous. You can use the emboss side. I'm going to use this side just to have texture, but whichever side you like, go for it. And I'm going to glue this down. Then I'm going to put something heavy on top of it because I did get a little bit of warping. It's a really extra thick paper, and that's what happened. So I'm just going to glue this down and put tons of glue because I want every surface of this to stick down. And so I'm just going to come back in here, kind of give it a zhuzh so the glue spreads out a little bit. I'm going to hold it down and then place something heavy on top, and I'll be back. So just to get rid of a little bit of that wobble, I put this on top of this, and I put my Platinum 6 on top of that for like 5 minutes or so. And I'm going to move this to the side. And it's pretty much stuck down all areas. So that's just a little trick if you get a little bacon neck, as they call it, but not on this. I guess that's for shirts, right? Okay, I didn't glue that piece down. There we go. Okay, so if I have this down here, and I have my word smile, and we're going to have this in here. Oh my gosh, how cute. I'm going to bring this down just a little bit lower so that it looks like it's radiating from that area. So this is literally the first thing I'm going to glue down. So what I'm going to do is glue our words. If you want that to pop up, go for it, but I am going to have the other portion pop up, so I'm just going to keep this flat. Or if you want to tuck flowers in behind here, you know, make sure to keep it popped up. Cut your flowers, have everything ready to go, and then assemble it. But for now, I'm putting this together, and then I will add in flowers here and there. So since I'm going to do that, what I'm going to do is really glue this area down because that's at the very top. And if I'm leaving some of this area open in case I tuck some flowers in, but I'm not sure if I'll do that or not. Again, right down here, I'm going to keep an eye out that my little light. If you want to put the light behind, the flash behind, I'm going to do it like this. But whatever is it you want to do that you think is right, then do that. Okay, and I'm just going to hold this until it sets up because we do have that embossing, so I'll be right back eyeballing that. So for this one, I'm going to use a combination of the FSJ foam that is, you know, thick but not super thick to add this little guy. And again, just strategically so that if I want to tuck flowers in there, I can do that. So I'm not putting too many. Just some here and there. And then to add the body or that front part of the camera, I'm going to pop it up with even higher foam. And this is just barely kind of touching there. So you can see our little items. Now, as you put it together, you know, next time maybe I'll bring this out a little bit more, but it's just there for detail. And this guy's going to pop on top, and I'm going to use an even higher foam. So this one's a little bit higher, or you can double up this foam. Whatever foam you have, I would say put 2 together to double it up. Let me see, that's going to be touching there, possibly down here. Trying to see how much I would need of this. And then on the very top, I'm going to put 1 of these guys, the smaller foam. So at the bottom, it's like twice as much, but at the top where it touches is basically the same amount. So I want to make sure that is so cute. You know, I mentioned before maybe that I have a brownie camera. It's just a little square. It didn't have a flash. I guess that's the one you would just have to use natural, you know, daylight, not like that big old flash that would poof or anything. But so cute. It's just this bottom part, this square part. That's why if you wanted to make the camera just this bottom part, you can definitely do that. Super cute. Really old, doesn't work anymore, but it's adorable. But anyway, so that is our basic camera and card. How cute is that, guys? And let me tell you the size of the camera itself. The dies, I didn't measure them. I realized the biggest die is just over 3, it's like 3.5, sorry, I'm measuring over here to the side, by 3.25. So this larger one is like 3.5 by 3.25. And the way I set it up, it's almost 6 inches tall, and from, you know, strap to strap edge, about 4 inches wide. So if you did want to put this on A2, you can either bring that down or put the flash towards the back, so you only see the very top part of it, or don't use it, right? You just use this bottom part. But really cute. Okay, so now I'm just gonna go wild and just cut a bunch of stuff as far as leaves and stems are concerned. So, you know, greens, different kinds of greens. There are also some leaves here if we want to use those. Flowers, these 2 layer over each other, I suppose. And then we have centers, this little flower here. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do is just cut different greens, different colors of flowers that I would like, and we'll go from there. This guy goes over that one, but I'll be right back. Things I'm going to assemble before I bring over the card, and if it looks like I need to, you know, add a little more of flowers, I will do that, but for now I cut out just a few and some leaves and things, so I'm just going to pair these guys up. So cute. So that little guy, and then this one. Let's put a little glue there. This guy over that one. And I'm lining them up in a funky way just to be a little bit offset so you can see both layers. Of course, they can be a flower on their own, each one. You don't have to layer them up. And then these guys here, I use the same color. I'm just going to layer one over the other. I believe they go like that. Let's just make sure. Yeah, for sure. You can tell. They go like this. How cute. And then I cut out gold centers, so if I feel like this one needs a little gold center, we have different shapes, and one has little holes where the other one doesn't, but they're the exact same shape. I don't know if you can see that. Like this one pair up, and this guy. But I'm just going to pop the little holes out of this guy. Actually, it would be cute to leave them there. It looks like texture. They held on to them so well. But for now, I'm just going to pop those out and pop that in here. Okay, yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm sorry, I was just kind of planning out what I want to do, and we have that, we have the leaves, you know, so I cut out a little more of that bright green. I think I'll do another bright green one as I look at my flowers and kind of plan out what I want to do, okay? So I'm just going to continue cutting some different things to fill in here and there. Okay, I think it'll be something like this. And so for now, I'm just going to move these to the side, and, you know, I can pop a little glue on the back of these guys. I love these kind of sprig things because honestly it just adds so much. So quickly you just kind of pop it in there. Looks wonderful. So that's all I'm going to do is take a moment to kind of come in here and just finish up. I think this little guy's going to be out here. Something like that, and I'll put some leaves. So let me put a little glue on the back of the very bottom. Up here. And maybe there. Just holding it down. And then this little guy can be in here. Yeah, I'm just putting glue in the center because I don't know where I'm going to put my leaves yet. And then I'll have these leaves that I can bring over and kind of see where I would want them to be placed. Do they go this? Oh, those are so pretty. Just the little shape of them is very, just like so delicate. Look at that. Oh my gosh. And I think I'm going to place that there. And since that one's kind of hanging up in the clouds here, what I'm going to do is put a dimensional behind it to hold it down. And then this little guy, put some glue right on him. I kind of actually like the way it's kind of just sticking up though. We will see. You know, it looks just so kinetic and cute. Okay, and over here I'll do the same thing. Just put glue behind there and then tuck these guys back in, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so hopefully that helped you out with the basic construction of the large die of the month. I mean, this is just such an amazing piece. Like, just looking at it, I just love looking at this. It's so cute. Alright guys, thank you so much Spellbinders for sending these items for review. I'll have some images for you guys, and all the links are in the description box, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye now.